No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. Politicians and diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that makes you smile. I was educated once. It took me years to get over it. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Why waste your money looking up your family tree? Just go into politics and your opponent will do it for you. Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're MIS-informed. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. When I was 17, my father was so stupid. I didn't want to be seen with him in public. When I was 24, I was amazed at how much the old man had learned in just 7 years. How easy it is to make people believe a lie, and how hard it is to undo that work again. Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied to many. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. If voting made any difference, they wouldn't let us do it. Success is a journey, not a destination. It requires constant effort, vigilance, and re-evaluation. If you want to change the future, you must change what you're doing in the present. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. The trouble with the world is not that people know too little. It's that they know so many things that just aren't so. Nothing spoils a good story like the arrival of an eyewitness. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks and starting on the first one. Never miss an opportunity to shut up. Some people bring joy wherever they go, and some people bring joy whenever they go. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. You meet people who forget you. You forget people you meet. But sometimes you meet those people you forget. Those are your friends. To be great, truly great, you have to be the kind of person who makes the others around you great. Just because you're taught that something's right and everyone believes it's right, it don't make it right. If ignorance is bliss, why isn't the world happier? If we were meant to talk more than listen, we would have 2 mouths and 1 ear. The average woman would rather have beauty than brains, because the average man can see better than he can think. We have the best government that money can buy. It's better to be an optimist who is sometimes wrong than a pessimist who is always right. If you have no will to change it, you have no right to criticize it. Focus more on your desire than on your doubt, and the dream will take care of itself. Temper is what gets most of us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us there. If your only tool is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Every civilization carries the seeds of its own destruction, and the same cycle shows in them all. Most of the things I worried about in life never happened. Great things can happen when you don't care who gets the credit. They did not know it was impossible, so they did it. Some people get an education without going to college. The rest get it after they get out. The world doesn't owe you anything. It was here first. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. The truth hurts, but silence kills. I cannot help but notice that there is no problem between us that cannot be solved by your departure. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Courage is not the lack of fear, it is acting in spite of it. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between the dog and man. Knowledge becomes wisdom only after it has been put to good use. Those who do not read have no advantage over those who cannot read. A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation. Life is short. Break the rules. Don't dream your life, but live your dream. When majority is insane, sane must go to asylum. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. The inability to forget is far more devastating than the inability to remember. To be satisfied with what one has, that is wealth. A tax is a fine for doing well. A fine is a tax for doing wrong. A pessimist is a well-informed optimist. If you can't stand solitude, perhaps others find you boring as well. An open mind leaves a chance for someone to drop a worthwhile thought in it. Comparison is the death of joy. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Make your vocation your vacation. That is the secret to success. When your opinions start to coincide with those of the majority, it is time to reconsider your opinions. There is no security in life, only opportunity. A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting on its shoes. There are basically two types of people. People who accomplish things, and people who claim to have accomplished things. The first group is less crowded. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak just because a baby can't chew it. A good lawyer knows the law. A clever one takes the judge to lunch. If we would learn what the human race really is at bottom, we need only observe it in election times. Additional problems are the offspring of poor solutions. Most men die at 27. We just bury them at 72. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. We are all ignorant, just about different things. It is wiser to find out than to suppose. A gentleman is someone who knows how to play the banjo and doesn't. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. I saw a startling sight today, a politician with his hands in his own pockets. If you want love and abundance in your life, give it away. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell. You see, I have friends in both places. Some people give their problems swimming lessons instead of drowning them. It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. The difference between those that succeed and those that fail is, those that succeeded tried. Go to heaven for the climate, hell for the company. Data is like garbage. You'd better know what you are going to do with it before you collect it. Few things are more irritating than when someone who is wrong is also very effective in making his point. Education is what you must acquire without any interference from your schooling. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. Never have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. You can't break a bad habit by throwing it out the window. You've got to walk it slowly down the stairs. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Love your enemy. It will scare the hell out of them. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. When in doubt, tell the truth. It will confound your enemies and astound your friends. Don't wait, the time is never just right. The less a man knows, the bigger the noise he makes, and the higher the salary he commands. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. Of all the animals, man is the only one that lies. If you have nothing to say, say nothing. Some of the worst things in my life never even happened. Apparently, there is nothing that cannot happen today. Education, the path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. We regret the things we don't do more than the things we do. When you are seeking to bring big plans to fruition, it is important with whom you regularly associate. Laughter is the greatest weapon we have, and we, as humans, use it the least. There was never yet an uninteresting life. Such a thing is an impossibility. Inside of the dullest exterior, there is a drama, a comedy, and a tragedy. What you do today is important, because you are sacrificing a day of your life for it. The most interesting information comes from children, for they tell all they know and then stop. Writing is easy. All you have to do is cross out the wrong words. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Men are like bank accounts. The more money, the more interest they generate. The dog is a gentleman. I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. Heaven is by favor. If it were by merit, your dog would go in, and you would stay out. Principles have no real force, except when one is well fed. Great people are those who make others feel that they, too, can become great. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. The conviction of the rich that the poor are happier is no more foolish than the conviction of the poor that the rich are. We like a man to come right out and say what he thinks, if we agree with him. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. When angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear. I do not wish any reward, but to know I have done the right thing. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. There is no such thing as a new idea. It is impossible. We simply take a lot of old ideas and put them into a sort of mental kaleidoscope. The worst loneliness is not to be comfortable with yourself. Never let formal education get in the way of your learning. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. If you have to swallow a frog, don't stare at it too long. Adam was but human. This explains it all. He did not want the apple for the apple's sake. He wanted it only because it was forbidden. Enthusiasm is caught, not taught. Those that respect the law and love sausage should watch neither being made. The ability to find solutions to life's challenges is what makes us grow as a person. If a person offends you, and you are in doubt as to whether it was intentional or not, do not resort to extreme measures. Simply watch your chance and hit him with a brick.